Transform your thoughts, transform your future. An inspiring story of a street vendor. The morning smoke. The city awoke each day with the same impatient hum. Buses coughing on dust-clogged roads, motorcycles weaving like restless fish, and the soft murmurs of tired workers drifting toward factories, markets, and office towers. Yet among all these people, a figure stood out, not because he wanted to, but because life had left him few choices. His name was Sarin, a street vendor who sold grilled corn beside an old, cracked sidewalk near the central market. Every morning he pushed his squeaky wooden cart from the tiny room he rented, arriving before sunrise, so that workers would find warm food waiting for them. Smoke coiled from his grill, carrying the comforting smell of roasted sweetness. To most passers-by, Sarin was invisible, just another vendor, just another man trying to survive. But inside his mind lived storms, questions, and dreams he never dared to show the world. He believed he was stuck, trapped, born to this life, until the day everything changed. A conversation that shouldn't have happened. The morning had been slow. Few customers stopped by, and Sarin noticed a sharply dressed young man lingering near his cart. The stranger watched him quietly, almost curiously. "Do you work here every day?" the man finally asked. Sarin nodded. "Every day since I was 17. That long?" The stranger's eyebrows lifted. "Do you like it?" Sarin hesitated. "It's honest work." "Honest, yes. Easy, no. Satisfying, rarely." The man smiled gently. "Honest work doesn't mean it must be your only work." Sarin thought the statement was foolish. People like him didn't get to choose their dreams. Life chose for them. "How can I do anything else?" Sarin asked. "I didn't finish school. I have no skills except cooking and selling. And no one sees me as anything more than a street vendor." The stranger looked directly into his eyes. "That's because you don't see yourself as anything more." Those words struck something inside Sarin, a place he didn't know still existed. The stranger gave a small bow of farewell. "Change your thoughts," he said. "Your life will follow." Then he walked away, lost in the crowd, leaving Sarin with smoke in his eyes and a seed planted in his mind. The seed of doubt and hope. That night Sarin lay awake, replaying the stranger's sentence like a song stuck on repeat. "Change your thoughts, and your life will follow." But how? Sarin had debts, responsibilities, and no time to chase fantasies. His life depended on selling enough corn to pay rent and eat simple meals of rice and dried fish. Yet the seed had sprouted. For the first time, Sarin wondered, what if he was capable of more? What if his life wasn't a cage, but a starting point? He tried writing down ideas, something he had never done before. Start selling different foods, improve the cart, learn something new, try applying for a part-time job, save money for a cooking class. The ideas looked ridiculous, childish even, but they were his, and seeing them on paper made them feel real. He fell asleep with a strange feeling in his chest, not fear, but anticipation. The first change. The next morning Sarin woke earlier than usual. Instead of pushing his cart directly to his usual spot, he stopped at a nearby library. He stood outside, intimidated. A guard approached. "Need help?" Sarin swallowed. "See, can I go inside to read?" The guard smiled. "Of course, everyone is welcome." Inside, Sarin discovered a world he had forgotten existed. Books about business, street food, psychology, self-growth, cooking, knowledge he never knew he could touch. He found a book titled Mindset: The Art of Changing Your Life Through Thought. The first chapter nearly made him cry. You are not limited by your circumstances. You are limited by the story you tell yourself. He read until the sun rose high. That day, as he grilled corn, he stood straighter. He greeted customers with confidence. He tried new techniques he learned from books, arranging the corn more attractively, explaining the flavor to customers, smiling more. Shockingly, people noticed he sold out faster than he had in weeks. The storm before growth, but change rarely comes without resistance. Some street vendors mocked him. Look at him. One laughed, trying to act educated now. Others whispered that he was wasting time reading books instead of working harder. Even his landlord said, "People like us don't change, don't hurt yourself dreaming." Those words nearly broke him. For several days, Sarin slipped back into old habits, head down, thoughts dark, dreams fading. But one moment saved him. A little girl approached his cart, smiling brightly. "Mister, your corn is the best," she said. "My mom told me you must cook with love, not with limitation, not with fear." Sarin felt the seed bloom again. A plan takes shape. If he wanted a different future, he needed not just new thoughts but new action. So he created a simple plan. E. Improve the cart to look more professional. R. Experiment with new recipes to attract more customers. 3. Save 10% of income every day, no matter what. 4. Read one book per week for new ideas. 5. Study marketing basics from free online videos. 6. Treat each customer like a guest, not a transaction. Within months, everything changed. People lined up for his grilled corn seasoned with spices he learned to blend from library books. He added drinks, snacks, and a homemade chili sauce that became locally famous. More customers meant more savings meant more possibilities meant more confidence. Every small change multiplied. The meeting that changed everything. One afternoon, a woman in a white blouse approached his cart. She wore an ID badge and carried a laptop bag. "I've been hearing rumors," she said, smiling. "Is this the famous corn cart?" Sarin laughed nervously. "Maybe only a little famous." She tasted the corn, closed her eyes, and sighed with delight. "This is incredible," she said. "I am a marketing consultant for small businesses. Have you ever considered opening a small food stall?" Sarin's heart pounded. "Me? I don't think I can afford that." "You'd be surprised," she replied. "With your product and customer base, a small startup loan or a partnership could work." It felt surreal. He had shifted from "why would anyone invest in me?" to "maybe I am worth investing in." They exchanged contacts. The seed had turned into a stem. The first leap forward. With guidance from the consultant, Sarin applied for a small business fund designed for low-income entrepreneurs. His application included a brand idea, a food stall design, a menu plan, a customer growth strategy. When he submitted it, his hands shook. He had never filled out such forms. He feared rejection. Weeks passed, then a letter arrived. Approved. Tears ran down his face. The boy who once believed he was destined for nothing more than a sidewalk grill had been given a doorway to a future he didn't think existed. A stall called Hope Flame. Sarin's new food stall was small but beautiful, polished wood, warm lights, a clean grill, and a sign that read "A Hope Flame." Roasted corn, street delights cooked with heart, served with gratitude. Customers from the old days came to celebrate with him. New customers arrived because of word of mouth. The local newspaper even wrote a short feature about him, calling him the vendor who rose through mindset. Business soared. His confidence grew. His menu expanded. His savings increased. People respected him not because he became someone important, but because he dared to believe in his own potential. When the stranger returned, 6 months after opening the stall, Sarin recognized a familiar face walking toward him, the man who had first planted the seed. "My friend," Sarin said breathlessly, "you came back." The stranger smiled as if he already knew what had happened. "I told you," the man said. "Life will follow when thoughts change." Sarin bowed deeply. "You changed my life with one sentence." The stranger shook his head. "No, you changed your life. I merely knocked on a door. You opened it. And just like the first time, the man disappeared into the crowd, leaving Sarin with gratitude burning inside him like a flame. Multiplying the light success did not make Sarin arrogant, it made him generous. He began hosting free weekend sessions for other small vendors, teaching food preparation, customer service, business basics, hygiene practices, mindset lessons. He learned people listened because he was one of them. He spoke their language. He understood their struggles. Many of them improved their businesses too. His story became a ripple effect, inspiring dozens of others. A life transformed. Years later, Sarin owned a medium-sized restaurant, a small training center for street vendors, a scholarship fund for underprivileged youth, but he kept his original street cart. He polished it often. It reminded him of where he came from and where thoughts can lead. Whenever a customer asked how he achieved success, he answered with the same sentence: "When I changed my thoughts, everything else changed too," because the truth was simple. He had not escaped poverty. He had outgrown it from the inside out. The message beyond the story: Sarin's life teaches a truth that applies to anyone, anywhere. You do not need perfect conditions to start. You do not need approval from others to grow. You do not need wealth to begin changing your mindset. Transformation is not sudden. It begins quietly with a single thought, a small decision, a seed of belief, and over time, thoughts reshape habits. Habits create possibility, and possibility builds a new future. Just as Sarin learned, a changed mind becomes a changed life.